Hey creatives, welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time in, welcome. So tonight, or should I say last night, I had the opportunity to watch my soul sister Tydery of Mighty Souls do a sew of these cute legging pants, and she got me all hyped. She had me cut out the pattern because I had the same pattern for years and get to sewing. So I figured why not share it with you guys in a tutorial. So before we get into the details of what pattern this is and what I sewed, let's do some housekeeping, which means it's time. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so at this time. And those who are subscribed and the new subscribers, don't forget to turn your notifications, like, comment, and share. Now let's get into this sew. Let's go. So hello guys. So I just saw my soul sister Tydery of Mighty Souls making these pants on live tonight. So I quickly remembered, well, I didn't even have to remember. I knew when it was posted and I saw that she was going to be on tonight that I had this pattern for years in my stash and did not make it. So with the Move Her challenge starting in September, I said, you know what? Let me cut this pattern out. So I cut out the pattern tonight while Tydery was making her pants. And her pants came out super cute. And this is the pattern, 8327. She said she did view A, which I think the difference in view A and view B is the length. So I usually like mine's this length. So I'm going to do view B. Yeah, I'm going to be doing them now in this fabric that I've also had for years. And it's kind of like a hamburger design on it. As you can see, it's not, it used to be way more vibrant and you can really see the hamburgers. Now it's kind of a little more subtle. You can't really see it as much. Look. But they're like little hamburgers all over them. Yeah, so I'm not so bothered that the hamburgers aren't as bright anymore, because now it kind of just like, it's a design on the pants, so it's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get these cut out now, take them to my machine, and start sewing. And you know me, always like to bring you guys along on my crazy journey. So let's cut these out and go to the machine. She did this really quick. I think she did it, her live started at 9. She was done by like, was it after 10? Maybe a little after 10. I would say in tops it probably took her an hour to make these, and probably more so with the interaction with the live and everything, it probably maybe went a little longer. But she was done in an hour, so let's see if we can knock these out in an hour too. Let's go. So I have my pattern pieces pinned down. I'm going to cut it out now. The good thing about this pattern is literally only 3 pieces if you don't count the elastic guide, which I never count the elastic guide because I can like guide my own elastic. And I usually have to make my own adjustments anyway so that I can make sure the elastic fits my waist. So I always measure my elastic around my waist first, and then I'll put it in into the garment that I'm making. So it's literally just the front, the back, and the waistband. So I'm going to cut that out so we can hit the sewing machine. Let's go. So guys, I wanted to give you guys a close look at my fabric. See, you can really see the hamburgers now. So just so you know what I'm using, this is a 4-way stretch lycra knit fabric, spandex fabric. It's a 4-way stretch spandex fabric that I actually got from Spandex Warehouse over 10 years ago in New York. So when I say 4-way stretch, just so you know what 4-way stretch means, it means I can stretch it this way equally as I can stretch it this way, meaning that the stretch goes the same percentage both ways, because there are fabrics that stretch both ways, and it may stretch this way a lot and then it may stretch the other way a little bit. No, this stretches this way, and it stretches this way with the same amount of stretch. I kind of feel like this is the best kind of stretch to use when you're making leggings that are going to be like workout pants and stuff like that, because you never know which way you're stretching, you're moving to do your exercises, and you want your fabric to stretch and move with you. So yeah, this is the print. Got to get my thumbnail, y'all. Okay, now that I have my thumbnail, I got everything cut out, and I'm gonna go start sewing. I think I might have enough left to like make like a bra top or something to go with it. Of course, that would be another video because I have to find out what bra top I would use. You know, sports bra top that I would use, because right now I don't think I have a sports bra pattern. I have one that was just done on the Black Sewing Network yesterday night with Carmen. That's kind of like an asymmetrical top thingamajig. Maybe if I could cut that pattern out and do it, I will. I tried to cut that pattern out. It wasn't successful for my printer. I think I used the wrong setting. So I just wound up sending it off to the print shop. So once it comes back from the print shop, maybe I'll use that to make a top out of this, because that would be super cute. But anyway, let's get these leggings sewed up. Let's hit the machine. Hamburger love. The pants have 3 pieces. This is the waistband piece that I marked a B on because this is the back seam. So I want to make sure I keep that in mind. And it fold goes like this when you do it. And then you attach it to the waistband. This is the front piece of the pant. And this is the back piece of the pant. For me, I marked a B on the back pieces. I don't know if you can see it with my tailor's chalk, just so I can know which is the back and which is the front, because it's important so you know which is your front and your back of your pants. And also, the way these pants are put together is not like, you know, sometimes you do a regular pair of pants, you do your seams, your sides, your stuff. These pants are, you take what, and also, just so you know, because I didn't mention it when I was cutting this out, the fabric that I use for this is directional fabric. So you have to make sure when you're using directional fabric that you're laying your pants or your garment out the direction that you want your design to go. So I wanted my burgers to go down, so I made sure, and make sure you buy extra fabric, because when you use directional, if you have to be mindful of that, then you want to make sure you buy enough fabric. Because see, I wanted all of my hamburgers to be going down. So as you can see, they go down. I'm not worried about matching up the seams and the designs. It's not that serious for me. Y'all know me. When I'm making something for me, it's all good as long as it comes together. I'm not trying to, you know, this is not for a customer. When you're making something for a customer, if you want to make garments for a customer, make sure you get enough so that when you cut your designs, you can line up your designs. If you cut your fabric, you may want to line up the hamburgers so that they all go together, like it looks like they're just fluidly going around the garment, if that makes sense. So those are just little tips that you want to use when you're sewing for someone else. When you're sewing for yourself, you can kind of just use your judgment. If you're a perfectionist and you want it to be perfected, then make sure you cut your fabric that way. You may want to line these 2 pieces up together on the fabric next to each other so that the design is right next to each other, which means you have to make sure the fabric is wide enough to do that. So these are all things you just want to keep in mind when you're using a directional fabric. Now I forgot what I was doing. Oh, so we're going to join our pants together. So what I was saying was, with these pants, they're a little different. The way you line these pants up is you take one front piece. We're going to do that now. And you take one back piece. So we're going to put our other pieces to the side. And you line up the seam, the inseams. Not the outside seam, the inseams. And you stitch that together first. So we're going to start with doing that with both pieces. We're going to line them up like this. I'm going to probably clip mine just so, you know, they're more accurately put together, because, you know, fabric like this can move. And when I clip stuff together, I normally start, especially when I want it to line up, I start with my clips from one clip from the top, one clip from the bottom, and then I usually try and go to the middle to see, okay, is it lining up? And then I spread my clips out, because if you need to ease it in, this is easier, because you kind of already know where you have to do your easing at. But this looks like it's lining up pretty good. So I'm just going to clip it. I'm going to do this with the other one, and then I'm going to put my seam in. Okay, so here's the deal, right? I don't have a serger, right? So I'm not going to be serging this. I'm using my regular machine. Since this is an old fabric, I'm kind of just going with the flow. I read the pattern. They basically say, I think you do 1/8 of an inch, and then you do a stitch behind that stitch if you don't have a serger. So it's like you're doing a double stitching of this. So that's what I'm probably going to do. I'll probably just stitch this, do double stitching. I'm going to do it once first to make sure they fit. Then I'll go back in and I'll do another stitch over it, to make sure they're really reinforced. I have a serger, long story short. She's over there. I dropped her on the concrete about I think it was almost 3 years ago now. And the front door is off track, which I have been told that it probably doesn't work. So she's basically just there in spirit. I'm going to buy a new serger for my birthday in September. So I might try that before I get the new one. But I just feel like at this point, you know how machines can be temperamental. My birthday's coming up. I want to treat myself. I might just get a new machine. So anyway, I'm wasting time. Let's sew these up. Let's attach the other one and then sew them up. So the way you do this, you stitch this. You attach your inseams first. After you do your inseam, you do a seam down the inseam. Then you attach your outsides and you do a seam down the outer seam on the outside. And then what it tells you to do is you put you put the other leg inside this leg, and then you do the crotch seam. So I'm going to, do all my clipping and stuff now, and then I'll come back and we'll stitch this up on the machine. I'll show you how I put my other leg inside this leg, and then, we'll attach our waistband, and then it's basically done. Okay? I have my pieces all together. I didn't clip the crotch part, and this is the front and back piece together. So first I attached it and clipped it at the inseam, and then I clipped it on the sides, and I did that with both pieces. Now I'm going to put a stitch down the side of the pant. Come on, come on, Bougie. I don't know what to name my machine. Let's name her Bougie. Ah! Cause she bougie. She cute. Y'all see my new decoration I put on her? I had some stickers. I was cleaning. I told you I was cleaning up the house recently. Maybe I haven't told y'all on here, but I said it on my stories on IG. I was cleaning up the house. I do that once a year just to purge and get rid of all the junk in my house. And I have a lot of crafting things because I am a heavy crafter for self-care. If it's not sewing, I'm making beaded jewelry. If I'm not making beaded jewelry, I'm working on my circuit. If I'm not working on my circuit, is it circuit or Cricut? Cricut circuit, the machine. I work on that. If I'm bored, I make transfers. I do things with like little crystals. Like I'm just a big, like, when I get stressed, I need to be making something. I need to be creating something. So I have like different projects of different things. I started along the way. And yeah, so I was cleaning up and I found all of these stickers. This one I messed up because I put it in one place and took it off and put it in one place and took it off. Anyway, these are the stickers I put on her. Let me give you a spin. And then she has some stickers over here. And then I put some over here. And then on the back, she has more. Ah! And I even put some up here too. And over there. Yeah! My boo is looking all types of cute. That way y'all guys can see her looking cuter, because I want her to look very presentable for you. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Now I got a feeling we're gonna play bobbin chicken, but we're gonna work with this bobbin for for a little while. We're gonna work with it till it run out, because I don't feel like spinning up a new bobbin right now. So yeah. Let's go and do that now. Okay. We have our pants together. We have our inseams done and our outer seam done on both pieces. Now, according to the pattern, what we're supposed to do is insert one leg into the other leg. So what we will do is we have our piece like this. This is one leg, pants leg piece. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this piece on the right side and insert it into this leg, inside of this pants leg. So we're going to take this leg and slip it inside of this leg, like so. And then we're going to line up the crotch pieces. So I'm going to open the seam, which is kind of probably going to be a problem when I try to double up on the seam, but I'll worry about it when I get to it. These are my first time doing these pants, so the next time I'll have it perfected and I'll be able to do it better, or I'll probably have my serger. So what we're going to do now is we're going to line up the crotch. So I started at the middle to line up my crotch. I put a clip in the middle first, and then we're going to go and line up the outer pieces of the crotch. And I'm going to just use the clips. I need to get some more clips, because I've been going through my clips, cracking them up, breaking them up. But these clips are like a must-have in a sewing space. Beginning sewers, if there's any beginning sewers who is watching this and they have not bought any clips, this is my urge to you. Purchase you some clips for your sewing space, because they are an asset, a game changer, when you don't want to have to deal with the pins and the pulling the pins. And sometimes you do the pins, and while you're doing stuff, the pin is already pushing up or pushing out. Get you some clips and get them, on sale if you can. I bought some from Amazon and they were really good. I bought some from Temu. They are starting. The ones that I got from Temu are cracking up. But sometimes things with Temu is hit or miss, because I could get another set from Temu from another person who's selling them and they'll be perfect. So they've lasted me the time they needed to last. I'm not going to complain. It's not like they broke as soon as I got them, and I use them a lot, like I said. So yeah, you're gonna go through them. So just invest in them. WeWack, Warwack, the WAWAK place. They have some good ones. You can order them from there too. And like I said, the ones I got from Amazon are very good. So I'll probably get some more from Amazon. I'll probably double up this time and get twice as many, because I really like them. I usually keep them close by in my mason jar. I'll probably have to get a bigger jar. I was thinking about getting like a little candy. You know how they have the candy jar you just pull in? I don't know. Anyway, let me finish putting this together. As you can see, this is really coming together quick. They don't take long. So I will be making a couple of more pairs of these, probably about 3 or 4, because I wanted some more pants that I could work out in. And yeah, so you basically do your crotch together like this. And then we're going to sew around that and close this up. Okay? Okay, so we did our seam around our crotch. If I did this right, we should have what looks like pants once I pull this other pants leg out. So now we're going to pull the other pants leg out, right? And we're going to push it out. And now we have what looks like a pair of pants. I did it right! Because y'all know I be jacking stuff up. They look a little young. I hope they fit this booty. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do now, the last thing we need to do now is just add the elastic. That's the waistband. That's all that's left. And that is this piece. Now I am gonna put since I got my labels now, I've been popping them in everything. Look at my labels, guys. Tell me how you like them. Let me see if I can show it to y'all. Right? Okay. Okay, y'all seen it enough. I'm showing off. Y'all know I like labels and bag tags. So I'm gonna put my label in. I just don't know where. I guess, right, guys, I should put it somewhere like in the mid back part. I don't know. I'm not gonna really put it in because I feel like it's gonna irritate me. So no, I'm putting my label in because I said I was gonna put my label in. So we're gonna put my label in. Okay. So the next step in this is to attach the elastic to the waistband. So the way they tell you to attach the elastic to the waistband is you put the elastic close up to the center fold line of this. So it's probably it's something like, you know, you would do it like this. You would have your elastic close up to the fold line. So if the elastic folds like this, and I'll pull this out just a little so you can see on the edge, then you would want your elastic, you see where this is peeking out at the edge? You would want your elastic flesh up onto this, right? So what I'm going to do is, so it makes it easier for me to find that fold line, is I'm going to just do a quick press down this fabric to flatten it, because what you have to do is you're going to have to pull your elastic, because the elastic is a little shorter than the yoke. You're going to have to pull your elastic in place. So the way you do that is they want you to start your elastic at the tip here, right? And I'm going to pin this after I find it. And then you're going to have to find the middle of, and then you would go down to your opposite end, clip it. And then you're going to find your middle of your fabric and clip it. And then what you're going to have to do is pull to get that ease in for this half. When you get to your middle point, pull to get your ease in to that point. And then that way you have it, you know, evenly distributed along the yoke. So I'm going to do a little press in the middle of mine just so it's easier to find the center of the fold, to make sure that I press it up against the fold. Because once you do that, they want you to sew your elastic in place. So I'm going to just do a little press so that my fabric is like already in, you know, in that. So I can see where the middle line is easier. I think that's like a little cheat, you know, for you, if you want to make it easier for you, because in that way you know where the fold line is, because it's clearly going to bend to that. See? So that way you already know, like, okay, it's already going to go to that easy. Let me put a little gas in the tank. You put a little gas in the tank. Attached my tag to the back waistband, and now I'm gonna do my my elastic. So the way we do the elastic is we are going to find our center of the weight of the yoke. So we're going to line these up. Okay. And we are going to find the center of our yoke, which is, I'm going to use a pin for this because we want to be able to separate this. So we're going to find the center of our yoke, which is right here. And I'm going to put a pin here. Hopefully I can still separate it. Yeah, I can still, yeah. That's the center of our yoke. And we are going to put our elastic in here. So I kind of have my fold line because I did do my press. So I can kind of see where the middle is, where the fold line goes. So I'm going to line this up with the middle. They said to line it up with the middle and pin it. I'm going to clip it on in first. First, let's find the middle of our elastic because we're going to have to stretch it to that point as well. So I see my fold line in the middle right here with the elastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pin right here. Ooh, this pin is in the way. Come on now, don't be in my way. Oh, man. We're going to have to adjust this pin. Wait 1 second because this pin is so in the way. Dang it. Okay, let's move it down a little bit. We're going to remove this one anyway, but, you know, just for finding our center. And we're going to match up this center with that center. So this is our fold line. It's right here. Right here is the fold line. So that's where this is going to go. This is going to go with this fold line right here. And then I'm going to go to the ends because that's just easier. And I'm going to line it up with this fold line. And then I can show you guys what I mean when I say that you got to ease it. Then you'll see more what I mean when I say that. I'm going to put it on this end. Then I'm going to go down to this end. And I'm going to find my fold line right here. And that's the fold line for the end down here. Yep. I'm going to put a pin in this. Over here. Okay. So now you see how we have our elastic. And there's all right, I can show you on this side because you can't get the whole length because it's just long. And you see how it's like a bulk, right? So when we're sewing this, we're going to have to pull it to fit into that piece, if that makes sense. So it's going to be pulled to ease it in. Now, what you can do if you want even more like accuracy, now that I know where my middle line is here, I can go like this on this side, right? And I'm going to put a pin here. I'm going to put a pin here, right? I'm pulling this, so you see this is the middle of this point. Then what you can do is you can go to the opposite, line these two up, go to the opposite side of this, and now you know where your midpoint is for this if you want to line up this point to make it even more accurate. So then now you open it up, and you see now this goes to this point. So when you're pulling, it makes it easier. So now you have another point to work from. So I'm going to take this pin out from here and line this up with this. So now you know that's going to be, we're going to pull this to this. We're going to pull, where is that? Oh, this pin can come out now. We're going to pull this to that, and then we can do the same thing on this side. So we're going to find our middle point on this, right? That's the middle, wait. That's the middle of this section. I'm going to put the pin in it, just so we know what we're working with. So we know that's the middle of this. Then we're going to find our middle of this by putting these two together. Now we know that our middle of this is about right here. And you can put your pin in here just until we open it up. Just put your pin in there. And then when we open this up, you're going to find the fold line, and we're going to line this up with that point where you just put that other pin. Line this up. Ooh. Gonna line that up. You can take the pin on the other side out because now that's just in the way. And again, now you know when you do your pulling, you're gonna pull this to here, so pull this to here, so, and so on and so forth. And as you can see, as you can see already, it's gonna have like a gather. But let me do it, show it to you guys, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So once you're finished doing it, you should have something that looks like this. Like it has like, you know, the rippling because you attached it. And then when you fold it down, you know, you have it in half. So your pieces are going to go like this to do your yoke, right? Now, the next thing that we do is we're going to line up our ends. Now it says you line up your ends together. And you put a stitch down that. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to line these up. So you line it up and then you do a stitch down this. And then you, of course, fold it in half. And then we're going to clip it to our waistband. The yoke is clipped to the pant, and now we're going to attach it. You can always be sure to clip your strings. Like I said, these are going to be my, let's see how these go first pair, because this is my first time using this pattern. This gives me an opportunity to check the size and all that. And like I said, if it's a go, then I'm going to double up on my seams later, but I just want to make sure it fits and everything goes on well first. I cut these in the size 2XL, by the way. Okay, so let's, and I think the pattern size ranges for this particular pattern from 1XL to 5XL is the size range. So I'm gonna sew the yoke to the pants now. So here are our pins. And yes, I did put my label outside on purpose. Here's the pins. Here they go. They all done. The only thing that's left to do is to put a hem in the bottom. And I'll probably do that later because I just want to see what length I want them on. But I will try them on and show you how they look. But they look good, guys. They look good. We got hamburger pants. So I'm going to take some pictures, show you how they look in the fit. But this was a really super quick, easy throw together sew. Like it wasn't complicated at all. Definitely beginner friendly. So yeah, this is an old pattern. I do not know if Simplicity still has this on their site. I would say check it out, because even if they don't have these, a lot of times with Simplicity and all the pattern companies will do is they'll put out like an updated version. I also know for a fact that this pattern has a sister pattern to this that goes from smaller sizes to XXL. I think it's an extra small to XXL. I actually purchased both of those patterns if I can find it, I'll put it somewhere, you know, up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But this is the plus size version of this pattern. But there is a version of this pattern that I believe goes from an extra small to a extra large, or either a small to extra large. But and I, like I said, I bought both because at the time I was gonna make sports leggings for some customers. I did make sports legging for some customers, so I had bought these actual. This is when they had the patterns on sale for $1.99. I actually bought like I think 3 or 4 of the same pattern, and I had one that I kept for myself, and I kept a version of this smaller set for myself as well. So I will be sure to link it somewhere up here in the picture so you can see it. But check the website and see if they still have it or if they have an updated version to this, okay? So I am done. Thank you for joining me as usual. Of course, you know I'm going to show you some pics of it and what they look like and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get to that real quick so you can see what they look like, okay? Bye! Okay, here is my leggings. They came out super cute. They have the hamburger design on them. I like the way they fit. They fit really nice. Ooh. They came out cute. And they fit nice. And like I said, I cut these in a 2XL. And as you can see it has the hamburger design on them. The waistband, yes, I did put my tag in the front. I did it a little off, so it should be there. But it's here, but it's there. So if I twist it, nobody can see. But if I'm walking and sweating, anybody don't see anyway. So here is my sew of my pants. I can't wait to go outside and walk in and put it in motion. Do my exercise. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make these leggings. I will be making more of them. And yeah, this was a fun sew. I really enjoyed doing this. Thank you for the inspiration, Sew Sister, Tyjarie, Mighty Sews. Boop, boop, boop. So I'm going to go now because now I'm tired and I need to go to sleep because I got work today because it's already after midnight. So thanks for joining me. As usual, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, I invite you to do so at this time. Turn your notifications, like, share, and comment. See you guys next time. Bye.